What's happening, guys? William Craddock, WillToWinGaming, here with Tyler Green. Today's video, we are going to cover Tyler's favorite announcement in One Piece thus far. the obliteration of Whitebeard. Obliteration of Whitebeard. And we're going to talk about what we think is going good after the bans. And we're going to talk about the Zoro deck a little bit. So, let's start with the Zoro deck. I'm interested to think what you think. It went 9-0 in the regionals that we played in. I have my own opinions on this deck, but I'm curious to see what you think.
I like what it's doing. So my very first deck in One Piece was Zoro, and then I found that Kid was just better, and I went with Kid, and have stayed on Zoro since. But I don't like all this cutesy event stuff. I'm always just pure numbers, turn things sideways, especially red. Like if you played Magic before, red deck wins, mono red burn, you just go at it. This list, I'm not a huge fan of the Marcos. I really wish those were something else. I'm high on a bunch of other cards. We get to in a different video, but if there's no counters to save them, it's cool that like you can pop something, but I'm not a big fan of it. I am a big fan though of that Haruda. Is that the name?
Haruda, yeah.
Haruda, yeah, that's a great one. That's a fun one for it. I also am not a. I mean, it's good. There's something super crazy with it. The Izos just for the Jozu and the Haruza. I guess you have the Vistas too.
And the Marco.
Yeah, but like, I kind of like want like Otamas with the Vista. Like it's just, I want Gordon with Vistas. It's fine, it's good, but the reason I think it won is because it's not playing a bunch of events. That's the reason why. It's low to the ground, it always has something to do, it doesn't have dead draws, and it doesn't have to keep Dawn up. It can just turn sideways and catch people with their pants down.
Yeah.
They don't have counter in hand. And I'm a big fan of this game. Just flip a coin, 50-50, always go for it. They don't have the counter in hand.
Yeah. And I think So my problem with this deck is I feel like this deck is a lot like Strawbeard. You remember like Strawbeard for I think 2 weeks was just dominating everything. It was like top 16 every event. And I look at this deck and I'm like, as soon as people understand how this deck works, I just think it's worse than most versions of Zoro.
Yeah.
I think it's just you have the Vistas and the Marcos, which they're good in the mirror, but they're bad against everything else. Right? For the most part, they're bad against everything else. You can pick off random things that really just don't matter. My problem with the deck is not people know what it is, so I'm not going to have to play around Rad Beam. I'm not going to have to play around Guard Point, so I'm going to be able to kill you. And plus, if I just play around this Rush Luffy, you really have no finishers. Like,
yeah,
that's like a huge finisher. I mean, I love this deck for that tournament. This was like an incredible choice for that tournament, and maybe an incredible choice for the few weeks till people adapt. But after that, I just think,
yeah, playing around Rush Luffy is really easy because the math works that you have 2 Dawn on it to give it the unblockable, makes it an 8K with one with Zoro. It's a 9K, and so you have to have 8. They use 8 of that Dawn for that, and if you have 2 2s and a 1, if you're playing a normal 5K character.
we're not going to be playing Whitebeard anymore.
I know. My math, I have to go back to a 5K leader. Life is horrible. He was murdered by a bunch of sad little Japanese men. It was horrible. No, it's just like, okay, cool. I'll keep 2 2s and a 1 up, even though I have a blocker, and now I can not die to that Luffy if they have like the extra. Or even if they just load up on it, it's like, cool, you paid 5, 1 on Zoro's, that's, 6, they have 4 on there, so cool, you're swing for 11, and then as long as I can go to 12 in my hand, I'm never dying, and just playing around with Rush Luffy is just, I think, the difference between a good player and an average player.
Yeah, it's like a time walk, right?
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, like, they're essentially skipping their turn to try to kill you, and in the past, that's kind of been the death knell for Zoro, where recently they'd keep up 2 Dawn, they'd have like a Radical Beam and a Guard Point so they can survive. They just can't do that anymore. They have to try to kill you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of with Zoro. It's just like, I love the old school Zoro with like 2 for 4s and a couple Jambeis in there and just try to murder them.
Yeah,
And
I like Jambe.
I think it's just being cute with the Izos, and I don't think the Vistas are doing what you want it to do, and I don't like, I mean, Jozu's cool, but I think you play pure math Zoro and just win the game.
I almost wonder if Jambé would just be straight up better than this Luffy. Because you can still find it with Nami, right? It's a Straw Hat card.
Yeah, and you could play more of them if you wanted, like for Jambé, and just have a higher count. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of it, and I don't know why people don't play it, but the starter deck Sanji, the vanilla 2 for 4. It's great with Zoro because it's a 2 for 5.
The 4-drop Zoro.
Yeah, but also you give it to Dawn, which is great with Brook. Pairs very well. It's, essentially a 7K with your Zoro, a 7K rusher. And so you have good Straw Hat stuff that you could give your leader Zoro or these other characters the unblockable. So, I mean, that might be a play. Is just get rid of the Rush Luffy completely and play for Jambé.
That's what I think. I think Jambé fits in this slot better because this card is not... Previously, in decks that were playing this card, they were playing it on curve. They were playing it and attacking with it. But in this deck, this is your only way to close out a game for the most part. So you can't really just use it willy-nilly in my mind. Unless you draw 2, but you're only playing 3. So.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about the Whitebeard bans. Tell me what you think about... I mean, Newgate's dead, right? It's just dead.
I woke up this morning, got on the WillToWinGaming Discord, and immediately got pissed off. Before my feet hit the floor, I was pissed. Why? Just why? No, so here's the thing. Newgate's dead for set 3. Do we think it's going to come back for set 4? I'm remaining optimistic because they're trying to get us to a 1 format or a one worldwide release with OPO.
Yeah.
I think 6 is their target to do that.
They
do not want Japan and America to have 2 separate metas or 2 separate ban lists.
I've heard that Japan is about to institute the same ban list for their OPO4 meta. That's the rumblings.
So either Japan loses that too and it's just gone, or set 4 happens and there's enough, because red, in my opinion, does not get much love in set 4 at all. No. And I'm a big fan of green in set 4.
Oh, I love green.
I love green in set 4. 100%. Either green black, green purple. I'm a big green fan. And so I think that they might put it back, but for the most part, I think putting anything Whitebeard right now is incorrect. I think if you still love Ace as your favorite leader, and this was an unintended consequence for you, I think you still play the one of Rad Beam, you still play the one of Blocker Marco, and hey, one Whitebeard, yeah, and you have that going for you. And if you like the counters version of Zoro, play one Rad Beam. Like, you just always still have one Rad Beam. There's nothing wrong playing one ups in your deck.
You're playing 5 guard points now.
Yeah. It's one slightly better. It's whatever. But yeah, Whitebeard is completely gone. I right now have no idea what I want to do with my life. So I think the big winner is from this ban. Even though Zoro did get hit, like a version of Zoro, I think Zoro's a big winner. I think Katakuri is a phenomenal winner because
100%.
I don't know if you think this, but I think Katakuri was almost a free matchup for Whitebeard, at least a good Whitebeard player.
Free, yeah. It was so easy.
Whitebeard, one of my worst matchups was black, especially Lucci. So Lucci loses to Katakuri. Katakuri loses to Whitebeard, while Whitebeard loses to Katakuri. Well, now that Whitebeard's gone, the Luccis are not doing as much, and there's more Katakuri, so Lucci's are going to do even worse. So I think you see a lot less black now. So I think Zoro's doing well, Katakuri's doing well, and there's a little bit of contention between Will and myself. I still think Law is doing well with this. Yes, they lost the Rad Beams, but there was that list out of and there was that list in Australia that didn't play any, and so I think that they still want to do good stuff. I think expect to see a ton of Zoro.
Always.
There's a bunch of different versions to play it, so you don't know exactly what you're seeing, but if you can beat Zoro, you're in a good spot right now with the rest of OPO3.
I think if this version in particular becomes popular, Law is going to have more trouble. Because he looks like he was targeting the mirror in Law. Like, this is a choice. Yeah. This is a choice. I know you also kind of need it to fill your Whitebeard slot, but
yeah,
this is a tech choice to me. Because you could play King Do here, right? And almost be better 90% of the time, except in the mirror and against Law.
Yeah.
So this is a tech choice to me. I think Katakuri will do well, but from what I hear, Law crushes Katakuri. Like, they cannot do anything about it. That's what I hear. I don't know if that's true. I don't know how free it is, but I've heard it's at least a 7-3.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, there's just a lot to go with it. I think if this is the point where you go back to the drawing board and you look at different decks and say, like, you know what, maybe I want to try. I know someone that's like, yay, I think my Magellan just got better. I don't know, but...
No, your Magellan did not get better. Sorry. I think it got worse, because its good matchup was Whitebeard.
Yeah, Whitebeard,
it got worse.
Yeah, Whitebeard did struggle against Magellan just a little bit, so I don't know. There's just a lot of different stuff to do with it, but I will be holding a funeral for Whitebeard. There will be a wake. Please send money to my Cash App for the funeral.
Yeah, we'll take that Patreon money if you want to help hold us.
God.
We'll make a video of us holding a funeral for Whitebeard.
Yes.
I don't know what it
will be a
patron
exclusive.
So we'll do it. Yeah, so we'll do something with it.
Absolutely.
I wonder if we can make Iceberg good.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Fun fact: I hate purple. I just don't like it. I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't like it.
All right, so we covered the bands. We covered what we thought was going to be good. We are going to Gen Con.
Yeah.
So that's going to be for us like the first in-person event with the bands. I think the bands take effect at the end of this month. Right?
Literally next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay.
So
is that the 28th?
Yeah. So the online regionals on the 29th are. Are you even think about that?
Yeah, I gotta practice something new.
Got him, coach.
You know, I didn't get hit. Dofi.
Yeah, Dofi's a good. If you didn't know, Dofi. If the Dofi is half good, they should win like 80-90% of the Zoro matchups. It's Zoro's worst matchup.
Oh, that's
by far. Like,
even this version, like that's just all dudes. Like, Dofi is the only deck that can keep their board clear and while maintaining pressure.
Yes, Dofi eats it for breakfast. If you like Dofi, you're a big fan. You're happy, and if you're a Katakuri fan, you're happy. If you're blue or yellow, you're happy. Croc suffered a little bit because Croc really ate Whitebeard's lunch.
Yeah. So the difference between Croc and Dofi was Dofi would crush Zoro while Croc would crush Whitebeard.
Yeah,
and they'd flip on which one's good against which. But without Whitebeard in the format, Croc just doesn't need to play. He's just gonna stay home.
Yeah, but yeah, there's still lots of good stuff on there. So check. If you're a film kid guy, well, man, you don't have to worry about Whitebeard anymore. So
film kid could be good.
There's a lot of good stuff right now. So just have fun in the open meta, and if you're a red player, I feel you, and
Zoro's next.
Yeah.
Ban list.
I'd be happy with that.
Whatever. I've never had a problem. We in our channel, we've never had a problem with Zoro, but if it happens, it happens, right? It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really it when it comes to all the changes on there. Anything to add there?
I will like to mention our Patreon. So even from the last time I said this, explode. Like we had 2 coaching sessions today, and they got all 3 of us, which lucky them, right? Not everyone gets that, but when you get all 3 of us in there, we're just like blowing you up with information.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there was we had a player who was on Smoker. Did he also do Zoro too?
He wanted to play against Zoro.
Yeah. So he had Paul, who plays Black almost exclusively, help coaching him, playing against Will, and then me. So you had 2 coaches going back and forth, playing against the coach, and so definitely good value with that.
It is good value. $35 a month. Y'all should try it.
Yeah.
But that's our video. Like I said, check out our Patreon. You can join our Discord for free.
Yep.
So those in the link below. And we will be at Gen Con. We're going to be at Tulsa. We're going to be at Knoxville. Like, we're going to be at a bunch of events, guys. So you should come say hi to us.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is for patrons, when we're going to events, we'll get some sort of a patron get-together, either for just drinks or just hangout sessions or
have some
dinner. Yeah, all that good stuff. And then for the 35-month tiers, we'll go clubbing till 4 a.m. So we'll do that.
He will go clubbing till 4 a.m. I'm old, and I get in bed at 10 o'clock and pass out. But yeah, I think that's it. Appreciate y'all joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends.
Yeah, and comment in there for the algorithm. Show some love to your boys. Just comment, like, what is your favorite leader now that Whitebeard
Whitebeard
is
dead.
now that Whitebeard died of cancer. Yeah, absolutely. It's
Poor
horrible.
Whitebeard. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.